Hi, my name is Brian Kelly. Welcome to this week's mini sermon brought to you by Point to Him Ministries. This week we're going to continue the subject of self-identity. Last week we talked about having the mind of Christ, and when you become one with Christ at salvation, you have a measure of knowledge and wisdom. No longer should you see yourself the way you used to be. You now see yourself as God sees you, because when He looks down and your sins are forgiven, He now sees His Son Jesus. And so often we struggle to see ourselves as a new creation. We still see ourselves struggling for victory. Even when we have a life-changing encounter, an experience with God, we still see ourselves the way we used to be because we feel guilty, we feel ashamed. And sometimes we even still see each other struggling for victory. And if you see yourself struggling for victory, you're going to continue to struggle for that victory, no matter how great of an experience you felt with your encounter with God. This week we're going to talk about your brand new identity, how you should see yourself. In 2 Corinthians 5:17 it says, "Old things are passed away, behold all things become new." When you are a new creation in Christ, you are brand new. You are a brand new creation. You're a brand new creature. You have a new nature. You have a new way of seeing things. You have a new way of feeling things. You have a new way of thinking things. And so often we want this experience with God and we want to become better. And we forget we have that measure of good things imputed into us. And that is our new nature. And when we see ourselves as that and walk in the Spirit, it becomes easier to have these things flow out of us. In Genesis 1, it says God created us in His image. And that doesn't just mean physical image. Every kind of image. Spiritual image. Emotional image. And physical image. And God has emotions. He created all of us with emotions. No emotions are bad unless they're used for evil. Jesus wept. Jesus was angry in the temple. And God gets jealous over us. See, this new nature doesn't change who we are. It just perfects who God intended us to be. You were all made who you are intentionally. But now you become a new creation. And we get to see things differently. We get to adjust our emotions differently. How God sees you is exactly the way you want to see you. You don't want to see yourself as a lowly sinner anymore. Now it does say all have fallen short of God's glory and all have sinned. That was only intended to keep us humble, never to condemn us. You should always see yourself the way you used to be, who was dead in sin, to keep you humble, to remind yourself and to keep you compassionate towards other people who might be struggling with sin, who might be dying to certain things, the depression and evil this world wants to take us down. It's to show us compassion and humility, never to condemn you. But this doesn't give us free rein to go do whatever we want because God thinks so highly of us now. It doesn't give us free rein to take advantage of His grace. Paul would say, God forbid we do that. But now we have freedom. Freedom that we no longer are chained to the ugliness that we used to see in the mirror. We can now look in the mirror and see the goodness in our hearts, the compassion for other people, the love of God, the knowledge and wisdom of Jesus that He freely gives us. I encourage you today, see yourself this way, and you will see that the way you see things, the way you handle situations, they become more Christ-like. And it becomes easier to walk in spirit, to walk in that oneness, when you no longer have a blueprint in your mind of how you were. You know, as you think, as we said last week, as you think in your heart, so are you. And there's no doubt that most everybody watching this loves God with all their heart and wants nothing more than to please the Father. But if you love God with all your heart and still want to please Him, but you see yourself as disgusting and terrible and not the new creation you are, that's going to put handcuffs on how much God can use you. But nevertheless, God resists the proud and gives grace to the humble. This is only meant to encourage you, not to keep you arrogant. Walk in humility this week. I pray for you and watch your life change.